In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create in-text MLA citations. Why cite? Citing your work properly will help you avoid plagiarism, strengthens your own ideas and arguments, and shows your instructor that you put time and effort into your assignments. Let's get started. The basic format for MLA in-text citations is the author's last name followed by the page number in parentheses after the quote. Never use a floating quote. Always include an opening or lead-in. Just use the author's last name, not their first. You only need to put the page number. You don't need to write PG. The period goes on the outside of the parenthesis. You can also put the author in your introductory sentence instead of in the end citation. In this case, I mentioned that Skloot is the author at the beginning, so I don't have to include her in the parentheses at the end. Be sure to include the page number. If you have two authors, be sure to include all the authors' last names, separated by and then include the page number at the end. What if you have more than two authors? Then you use the first author's last name and put et al., meaning and others, after their name. If you don't have an author, use the title of the work instead. If the title is long, use a shortened version of the title. Titles of books are italicized and titles of articles are in quotation marks. No page number? If you don't have a page number, like with many websites, you simply don't need to include one.
What if your quote is really long? If your quote is longer than 4 lines, you will need to use what is called a block quote. Indent the quote 1/2 inch from the left margin. Do not use quotation marks, not in the original text. End your quote with a period and a parenthetical citation. Unlike shorter quotes, you don't put a period at the end of a parenthesis. I'm going to show you how to create a block quote using this quote from John Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie. First, we have our introduction sentence, and then we have our quote down here. Notice that it is 4 lines long, so if your quote is 4 lines or longer, you will need to use a block quote. Now I'm going to do a left indent by 0.5 inches, and I'm using the ruler up here. I recommend using the ruler so that you get the whole paragraph. A couple other things to notice: the quote itself does not have quotation marks, but there are quotation marks in the original quote down here, so I did include those. But the whole quote itself does not need to have quotation marks because it has that left indent for the entire quote. Also, we have the page numbers over here. Since I put the name of the author in the sentence, I don't need to put the author's name in the parenthetical citation, just the page number. And that is how you do a block quote.
Remember, your in-text citations correspond to your citations in your Works Cited page. This way, your reader can see exactly where you got your information without having a large citation in the middle of your paper.